Hello, this is Beverly Keppel, and this is the second video in the series on communication and building rapport, which is part of the big series on understanding what makes other people tick. Now, just to recap on where we got up to last time, we looked at how people are either outgoing or reserved, remembering that it's a continuum. And some people are very outgoing and some people are very reserved. But you can tell the difference by how they speak. Outgoing people generally are much louder and they speak much more quickly. Reserved people are quieter and speak much slower. So how have you got on with that? How have you got on identifying what you are? If you've been involved in dealing with people for a long time, you probably intuitively alter your pace and volume when you're speaking to people. So if you're having difficulty identifying yourself, think about how you are at home with your family, because that's the real you. Now, what about if we're texting or Facebook messaging people? How can you tell? Well, there is a way we can add a further dimension to this. Outgoing people are generally open. They want to share and talk about everything with you. Quiet, reserved people are generally closed. They're not comfortable sharing anything with you until they trust you and get to know you. When you first meet them, you will only get one-word answers from them. Have you ever been in the situation of on the phone call with a lead and you're asking questions and suddenly they just hang up on you? Well, that's happened to me a few times, and it's probably because I've been asking open questions and they felt uncomfortable. Let's talk about questions for a start. Closed questions. These require one or two word answers, especially yes or no, and they often begin with where, how many, which. For example, have you thought about running your own business? Where are you currently working? How many children have you got? Which school do they go to? These questions mean that you're still in control of the conversation. You get one-word answers, you move on to the next question. They give you the facts, they're quick and easy to answer, and generally they're non-threatening. Now compare that to open questions. These require information to be shared. They begin often with what, how, why. Some examples would be, what are you working at the moment? How are you finding that? Why did you want to join our company? Now, these types of questions can make the reserved people feel a bit threatened because they're asking the other person to think or reflect. They're asking the other person to give their opinions and feelings. But they also hand the control over to the other person so they can just talk on, and if they talk on a lot, you're going to have to interrupt them. So let's have a look at a typical example of a conversation. You're on the phone, someone's responded to your advert, and you might say, "Thank you for inquiring about XYZ position." And then you would ask a closed question like, do you have a job at the moment? Now, the reserved people, they're going to say yes or no, whatever the case may be. The outgoing person may very well say, oh yes, I'm working at la la la, and they'll tell you all about it, and they'll carry on and tell you exactly why they want to leave it or why they want a part-time job, etc. So the next question that you might ask is, great, so what made you be interested in XYZ opportunity? No problem with the outgoing people because it's an open question and they will just tell you exactly what they think. However, the reserved person is going to try and keep the answer to the question as short as possible. So they might say, I'm looking for extra money, but they won't elaborate on it. So we have, in summary, we have outgoing, louder, open people, and we have reserved, quieter, and more closed people. And when you're starting to build rapport, start with the closed questions, the ones that are easy to answer, and then gradually build into the open questions if the person is a reserved person. Thank you very much, and we shall see you in the next video. Bye now.